Well, here in Bay Bulls to take a look at an industry that had a hard time like COVID, like so many other industries, but some special things were challenging for the whale watching and puffin watching industry. Mike Gatherall joins me now. So Mike, what was business like before the pandemic?
Well, 2018, 19 were both very good years. Newfoundland was trending upwards. From our own numbers and from speaking with people in the industry, 2020 was shaping up to be very good up until end of February, early March, when COVID decided to jump the pond and everybody felt the effects of it. And then it just flatlined and then took a nosedive and basically went into the crapper.
So that's the economic term for difficulty. So how bad did it get?
Oh, I mean, for tourism here in Newfoundland, in our particular sector, approximately 90% of our traffic is non-resident visitation. So for us, it has a huge impact. We have, thankfully, a great local audience as well. Counts for about 10% of our revenue in an annual year. But the problem for us is that we're selling whale watching and puffins and boat tours to a local audience, oftentimes that has access to boats. And if they don't have it, their father, their brother, their friend has one. So the market is not that huge here, unfortunately, in Newfoundland.
Yeah, I mean, there was a time where there was a big push on staycations and people decided, okay, we're going to do our bit, but without tourists, especially from the mainland, it was difficult for a lot of businesses. So tell me about you and your arch rivals, the O'Briens, and what happened during the pandemic.
Well, it's a very interesting story. I mean, we've both grown up here in the area on the water. We're actually next door neighbours. So as children, we did grow up and play together. And my brother Al and Joe were, they were bosom buddies all throughout, from the time they were tots. Obviously competition played into it, and for a number of years, there's back and forth. But the nice thing about COVID was it was an opportunity for both companies to really work together, to cooperate. We both realized that it was senseless to run multiple boats and in and out with the small numbers of people that were likely to be around in 2020. So we decided to share our resources. We operated from our base, we used their boat. So that way everybody had a little part in it. We were able to keep all of our staff in play as much as possible, and the same for the other folks as well, for the O'Briens. And it was just a great way to share. People loved the story that you had these two great companies that were, McDonald's and Burger King kind of a thing, that all of a sudden were working together. And it was very much a good news story.
So I think, I wouldn't say the Hatfield and McCoys, but, in capitalism, businesses compete against each other. What is it that you and the O'Briens learned during COVID?
Oh, well, I mean, we share a lot of similarities. We're both visiting the same area, doing the same type of an operation. But we each go about it slightly differently, and that was a great opportunity. We both learned from each other. I mean, listen, there's things that they do very, very well. There's things that we do very, very well. And that was the great opportunity in that we were able to share some of that knowledge and I think make both companies even stronger.
Now, I was on the O'Brien's tour and I saw you guys and we got footage of your boat. And your boat was blocked, their boat was blocked. What has the season been like this year?
It's been off to a very solid start. So our numbers at the early part of the season were very strong. We're still dealing with a lot of the effects of COVID and supply chain issues. As most people are aware, rental car availability is still horrendous. So we've actually got a lot of our international tour operator partners that have not been able to sell 2022 Newfoundland programs since February or March, because they've had essentially stop sell orders from the rental agencies for the cars. But what that's done is that's now moving some of that demand into 2023-24, which again is not a bad thing.
So when I was looking around there, I saw a lot of visitors from Ontario, all those people that weren't coming that were here. Now that we're back and it looks kind of busy, what do you enjoy, despite those ongoing problems with COVID? What do you enjoy about things getting back to what almost looks like normal?
Yeah, you know what? The one thing that we really take for granted is just the openness and friendliness of people, and it's so nice to see people enjoying traveling again. All too often we focus on the negative parts of it. We know there's issues at the airports and so on, but once people get their feet on the ground and you see the smiling faces, it's fabulous. I mean, we just came in, I don't know, the trip was almost sold out, and there was people from all parts of Canada, the US, some from the UK. I had a gentleman on board whose father was actually on the U-boat that surrendered here in Bay Bulls. It's fabulous to see stories like that.
All right, I'll let you go. Mike, thanks a lot for your time. Appreciate that.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.